At Braver Politics, we organize workshops to help people who disagree about politics have healthier conversations with each other. And we organize those workshops primarily for elected officials, candidates, and their staff members all over the country.
The country is so divided.
We saw politicians acting like preschoolers again.
I'm asking you, Congressman.
The polarization is tearing the country apart.
No, we're not going the right direction.
I recently found, though, a group that's trying to heal this division.
This is not about achieving any particular policy. This is not about moving you toward the middle. It's about changing our treatment of each other and changing our engagement with each other to improve our political culture in this country and state for the better.
We create the environment that makes it so much easier to have these conversations.
Our work on college campuses and our work with political leaders.
Elected officials who take our workshops who say, this helps me do my job.
So it's not just that I think a good future is possible. I see the work. It's happening.
Civil disagreements is required for this great republic.
Once I see that over and over and over again, you know, that part of me that expects the monster around the corner is just gone.
This is not going to be like other debates that you have seen before. We're going for a totally different dynamic. We don't want any crosstalk, interruptions. We're going for deep listening and respect.
Half conservative, half liberal meeting together, just trying to talk to one another rather than at each other or about each other. But we didn't have any idea that that would turn into thousands of these workshops.
Braver Politics is helping us relearn how to have challenging conversations.
We state our views freely and fully without fear. We treat people who disagree with us with honesty, dignity, and respect.
And the way you move the chains down the field, the way you make a difference, the way you get something done is in fact to collaborate with other people.
We welcome opportunities to engage those with whom we disagree.
We're open and honest about where we're coming from and kind of the why behind that.
We believe all of us have blind spots and none of us are not worth talking to.
And we're being bold about what we want to see both in our own communities and at a national level and everything in between.
We look for common ground where it exists, and if possible, we work together.
Because of the structure, because of the guardrails, it controls the temperature so it never goes off the rails.
One of the hallmarks of democracy is that we can disagree. Disagreement isn't inherently bad at all.
We believe that in disagreements, both sides share and learn. In Braver Angels, neither side is teaching the other or giving feedback on how to say things differently.
Talk to each other. We find that we agree more than we disagree. I mean, always.
If you want the general direction of your policy change to last, it's probably better to have more people invested in it than not. I mean, I've rarely seen a bill or a policy worked in this environment where members of opposite political party came together in good faith and worked it. They didn't yield a better product.
Whenever we work on just straight party lines, I think it's fragile, and I think those policy wins can erode and be washed away at the next election. Whereas when we figure out where the most common ground is, that's where we make those long-term investments that really build out programs that can make a huge difference. That's far more durable and sustainable.
I don't think we want unanimous votes on every bill that comes through here, because I think there's something healthy in the differences of opinion.
You tackle any problem from one political perspective, you're gonna miss part of the fix.
I've done a lot of workshops with Braver Angels in the Braver Politics sphere. I've done them with the average American. I've done them with elected officials. It's a completely different dialogue.
I'm seeing people rebuild relationships with each other. I'm seeing county commissioner candidates who say, you know what, we know we have more in common than what divides us. It has given them a way to communicate better with the people in their community.
You're in those rooms and you see people looking at each other They're disagreeing. They're surprised that they can be in this room. They're surprised at the things that they're learning from each other. They're surprised at the common ground that turns out to be there.
And I have seen people that have known each other who are on the opposite aisles, and then suddenly at the end of that discussion, they're giving each other a hug.
When they interact across that difference, it's really hard to deny the goodwill.
Everyone putting an oar in the water and rowing in the same direction is so powerful.
We can find common ground on local issues. And that's something that people have started to doubt is possible. But because of Braver Politics, they have found that.
I love talking to people, and it really warms your heart and makes you feel good, right? To talk to people that agree with you politically on everything. But you know what is more important to me, and it always has been? Knock on their neighbor's door, introduce themselves, and go out and have a cup of coffee.
But it's really doing the part. Me introducing myself to my neighbors is not extraordinary. We don't really do things like that anymore.
It's on each of us to do our part in changing. It's on each of us to go knock on our neighbor's door. And even if that neighbor disagrees ardently with you about politics.
So there's a candidate who said after he took one of our skills workshops, he said when he's door knocking, for local office, he used to avoid the houses where there was the sign for his opponent. And now he goes up to those houses and knocks on the door because he feels equipped to have a good conversation.
Because that's how we rebuild community across divide. That's how we treat each other with human dignity and build interdependence and understanding of each other's perspectives and live in pluralism together in the American Republic. In Braver Politics, we knock on our neighbors' doors.